Welcome to Cord Cutting today for December 27th, 2019. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now and give you my opinion on them. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes down below. I'll put a link there so you can read about them for yourself and let us know what you think. I would really love to hear from you and what you think are some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting and your thoughts on these stories. Now, if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. And hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Well, it's coming to an end of a holiday week here. I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you may be celebrating right now. I hope you all had a great one. But it's been a very busy week in cord cutting. Now, a few notes. A lot of people have been asking about New Year's Day. Will we be doing a Q&A on New Year's Day? No, I won't be doing a Q&A live on New Year's Day. I think we're going to move that to the 2nd. So January 2nd, right now, which is Thursday, plan on the Q&A for next week. So just throwing that out there real quick. And there are a lot of great cord cutting deals still. So a lot of companies are still clearing out stock, I think, trying to get things out before the end of the year. So there's some really great cord cutting sales happening, very limited time sales. A lot of times these sales end on a Friday night or on a Saturday, so I wouldn't necessarily wait because they could end at any time. But let's start off with some of these deals with streaming players. Right now you can get a Roku on sale. The Roku Ultra, the Roku Stick Plus, and the Roku Express are all on sale with the Roku Premier also. With the Roku Ultra, maybe one of the best deals right now at $69, down from $99.99. This is a 4K stream player with a new improved remote with the programmable buttons on there for quick launch and different things. And it's got the improved processing power for faster loading, which means faster loading, lower delay when you're watching live TV streams. One of the big reasons there's a delay between when it's actually aired and when it goes is your internet speed. And then your streaming player speed, because it needs to load and buffer all that content. Don't want a Roku? Fire TVs are also on sale, with the Fire TV Stick 4K on sale for $34.99. And if you qualify, you can get it for $24.99. Details in the post down below. Need a DVR? The Tableau Dual Light DVR? There are two tuner DVRs on sale for $109.99. It does include the commercial skipping feature there if you pay for their subscription service. So check that out. And lastly, a ton of streaming services are on sale for 3 months through Amazon channels, including half off of Showtime, Epix, Nick Hits, PBS Kids, Noggin, Boomerang, Shudder, Sundance, Smithsonian, and more are half off right now through Amazon channels. Details in the show notes down below. All right, let's get into the news of the day. Comcast is reportedly trying to buy Xumo. According to the Wall Street Journal, Comcast is in advanced talks and in exclusive talks. So often when businesses get into talks like this, there's a period where you're doing discovery and talk to each other. And then you can enter into a period of exclusivity where like, hey, we want a 30-day window where we can do advanced, serious due diligence on your business. But during that period, we want exclusivity. And there's often a rough price point where we're talking about in that deal. That means that Comcast is pretty far down. If they're into an exclusivity, there's already at least a letter of intent to buy the company probably, pending this due diligence period. And so if that is true, we could see Comcast buying Xumo, the free streaming service, very soon. Comcast is likely looking at the success Viacom is having with Pluto TV. Remember, Viacom purchased Pluto TV at the start of 2019, very early on in it. And they've been really successful with it so far. So I'm going to be very interested to see how this plays out. Now, this works on a lot of tiers for Comcast. Now, they have that Comcast Vision 2020 where they're going to be targeting cord cutters and trying to reach cord cutters out there. Now, we are learning that they are also working on Peacock. There's been word there may be a free tier to Peacock with ads. That's been floated around. It's also been floated around. It may not be free, but may be severely discounted. But the big selling point here is the fact that Xumo could help Comcast get a ton of content, not just NBC Universal content, but a ton of other content to build into their cheap or free version of Peacock when it launches early next year in the spring of 2020. So I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on this. Not only would it give Comcast content, it would also give them an app that's available already on many different platforms. and partnerships with people like T-Mobile and LG TVs, for example, to put some Xumo content on those platforms through a proprietary, T-Mobile Play for T-Mobile devices. I think it's called LG Channels and LG TVs and more. So I can definitely see how Comcast is looking at this like, hey, we're going to get distribution, we're going to get content for our new streaming service, or we're going to get some technical expertise here in building streaming apps and more. So I'm going to watch this very closely. Xumo already has announced a partnership to bring their app to Comcast streaming players, so there's already a relationship there between the two companies. So I'd love to know what you think. What do you think of Comcast buying Xumo, trying to get into the world of cord cutting and free streaming, and maybe use it for their Peacock service? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of all this. And does it worry you? I'd love to hear from you. All right, Vidgo is a new paid live TV streaming service that launched officially earlier this year. It's been around a while with a small starter package as a part of a beta launch. Earlier this month, it went national with its full lineup. Now this week, they've announced that they are adding more Fox affiliates and officially announced the joining of Fox content, which includes the Big Ten Network, Fox News, FS1, and more to their lineup. Now, it's important to remember some of these channels had been on Vidgo earlier, but weren't included in the initial press release. Now, with the addition of Fox Locals, Vidgo has officially announced the addition. Fox has officially announced that they've partnered with Vidgo to launch their content on Vidgo or on Vidgo's paid TV service. So it does give Vidgo access to a lot of content. So they got the Big Ten Network, they got Pac-12 Network, ESPN channels, Fox Sports channels, and more to try to make it a great streaming service for sports fans. Now it's very early in the rollout. They do say in early 2020 a DVR will be added, more features, probably more improvements to the existing apps will come. But it's interesting, in the world of Sling being owned by Dish and AT&T TV Now being owned by AT&T, obviously, and more, Vidgo's kind of won the independence there to say, hey, we're not tied to anybody. We're not a legacy cable company. So we don't have all that maybe bad blood, we'll call it. So it'll be interesting to see how Vidgo plays out in the weeks and months to come. But have you used Vidgo? What do you think about it? I'm willing to give them a little bit of time here. I know there's some people had some complaints about the apps and more. With a new launch with a small team, we'll see. I love competition. So anything that brings legitimate competition to the world of cord cutting, I think is great. I want to know what you think. So leave me a comment, let me know. All right. If you are a fuboTV subscriber, you may have noticed 5 new channels appearing in your lineup. fuboTV has taken their Adventure add-on package, which is typically $5 a month, and made it for free through May 2020. So at the end of May 2020, it'll go away, but right now that gives fuboTV subscribers access to the Outdoor Channel, World Fishing Network, MAV TV, Outside TV, and the Sportsman Channel. So if you kind of love the outdoorsy sportsman kind of content, this is a great addition. It's available for free again until May 31st, 2020. And then after that, you'll have to be an additional $5. You have to opt into it. It's not going to auto bill from my understanding once that add-on is, that offer is expired. So check that out. Link in the show notes down below if you want to learn more. But thank you to the tip from a reader who pointed out that these channels went live. Took a little digging, but I found the details. If you want to learn more about that offer, check out the show notes down below. All right, one of the things I hear a lot about cord cutters is I don't need an antenna. Even if I live in an area with great over-the-air reception, why would I get it if I have YouTube TV or something? Well, I sat down and I wrote out 3 main reasons why you need an antenna, even if you already have a streaming service. Number 1 being, there's more channels. Yeah, YouTube TV may have the big 4, and PBS now, but it doesn't have all the smaller channels. And you'd be surprised at the quality of content on a lot of these sub-channels, unlike the antenna TVs and the Me TVs and Comet and more. There's a lot of great content out there that you may not be getting if you don't use an antenna. It also comes blackout free. There was a real issue with the Frosty the Snowman this month being blacked out. Turns out CBS does not own the streaming rights to Frosty the Snowman. They were unable because their contract predated any of these streaming services, so they didn't think about including streaming rights when they originally got the contract for Frosty the Snowman. So they were unable to do that. The good news is if you have an antenna, that wasn't a problem. You just flipped over to your antenna, there's Frosty the Snowman without issues. So you definitely want to consider that to make sure you don't get anything blacked out. Now, blackouts are increasingly becoming rarer because a lot of these contracts for things like Frosty the Snowman are being renewed, and when they're being renewed, they're including the rights for streaming. If you remember 4 years ago when Sling TV first launched, you may have remembered, hey man, there's a lot of shows blacked out. Almost by the month, fewer and fewer programs became blacked out, and now almost nothing's blacked out on these services, except for the occasional rare program like Frosty the Snowman. But having an antenna gets you completely around that, no need to worry about it at all. And lastly, or there's a few other reasons, but I'm just going to go over three of the 5 reasons real quick. Lastly, for this video, if you want to read more, check out the show notes down below. No delay. I get this a lot. So delay happens for many reasons, and that's the idea that, hey, compared to live, you may be 15, 20, 30 seconds behind it. There's reasons behind that. Well, for one, there's a slight delay just in the streaming. For example, antennas are usually the services with the least delay because they get from the TV station, they immediately broadcast it out. Then that signal goes to cable, so cable will be sometimes as much as 5 seconds behind antenna, and there's cable. And then another 15 to 30 seconds could be streaming. Now that happens for some reasons. There's 10, 15 seconds built in for internet distribution, but then also how fast is your internet? A slower internet speed means a longer time buffering to get ready for the stream. Also, how fast is your streaming player? For example, if you have an older streaming player, it may not process the video as fast, so it takes longer to load it into memory, it takes longer to process it and then put it on your TV. Where a newer streaming player will stream it faster. Roku's really been touting this with their new Roku Ultra, that we are noticeably faster in getting a live TV stream to start showing up, reducing the buffering range versus an older version of their Roku players. So there's a few things there, but if you are one of the people who just can't handle it, to me, I find on average my sports is maybe 15 to 20 seconds behind using a good internet and a newer Roku Ultra. So to me, that doesn't bother me at all. But I know there's some people who are, aggressively checking like their fantasy sports stats, and they may notice like, oh wow, 10 seconds before I saw on TV, I saw the touchdown on my phone. Well, with an antenna, you're actually going to see it before even or cable fans do. I love it when I'm watching antenna and I'm chatting maybe on Reddit about a football game. I can see, okay, here are the people on antennas, there's the people on cable, there's the people on streaming who are seeing the action on the TV. So it's definitely something to remember. There's a lot of reasons to get an antenna. It's just nice also to have if your internet ever goes out. But those are some of the main reasons I suggest you get an antenna and check them out. Let me know. If you are an antenna user, why would you encourage non-antenna users to get it? I do understand that not everybody lives in an area where an antenna is perfect. When I cut the cord, I lived in the middle of the Mark Twain National Forest. I got no over-there TV channels. But the vast majority of Americans, over 90%, will get the channels they want for free with an antenna. Now, 90% may sound like great, it still means millions of Americans don't. But if you're part of that 90%, a one-time fee of an antenna will get you a ton of content. So check that out. And more details in the show notes down below. All right, TCL made a small announcement of an announcement to come. It's a pre-announcement, we're going to call it. Yesterday, TCL, I apologize to my friends at TCL, announced that they are going to have the next generation of micro LED lights and TVs. Now, micro LED lights came to the United States on TCL TVs earlier this year in the new 6 series and 8 series, I believe. These are the new TV, the new way that they can get ultra focused dark zones, for instance. With these smaller LEDs means they get more control over what part of the screen has what color, what part of the screen doesn't, what part of the screen is very dark and not, because the model lights are smaller, which gives them greater control over that. Now TCL has announced that they have the next generation of this technology that will give even better blacks, better colors, better sharper images, and more than the current generation. Now the question is, will this come to the United States? Often TCL rolls this out in other parts of the world first, brings it to the United States in the Roku TVs a little later, but that's been changing a little bit, so it's possible that we'll see them in Roku TVs next year. We'll have to wait and see. But TCL has kind of made a name for themselves as the leader in the Roku TV world. And I'll be honest, the new 8 series is kind of, if you want the highest end possible Roku TV, the new TCL 8 series is the best out there. I have the 6 series 2019 version in my home. Very happy with it. But I also have other TVs out there from other Roku manufacturers that I've been very happy with. So I'm going to be interested to see how this plays out as we start to see an arm race to be the manufacturer with the best quality TVs. Hisense has really been pushing TCL. They want to be known as the Roku TV manufacturer that everybody gets judged by. So it'll be interesting to see how TCL tries to maintain their lead they currently have. We'll keep an eye on it. Let me know, do you have a TCL? Do you have another brand of Roku TV? Do you like them? What do you think about the new micro LED standard or announcement, the next generation that's coming next month? We'll be there. We'll be at the press conference to keep an eye on it. All right, Dish and Sling TV have dropped a network. Blaze TV has announced that they're going to shut down their cable network. They were a streaming service. They launched a cable version, a live linear channel version of their shows. Now they've announced they're going to go backward to video on demand only. And I suspect that this may be the start of many networks doing this, especially with the smaller ones like Blaze TV. Very faithful following there, but it's a smaller network. Running a linear live network is expensive as opposed to an on-demand only version. It's a lot cheaper. You have to have a lot more servers running 24/7 rather than just answering the call on demand. It's a long story, but because of them shutting this down at the end of the year, Dish and Sling's contract has expired, and the Blaze TV network has announced that they weren't renewing it. So it's been dropped already. So if you notice one last channel on Sling TV, Blaze TV has been dropped, but this does come as other networks like Fox News, Fox Business, and BTN and more are coming to Sling TV. So check that out. But if you're wondering where your channel went, it's not Sling's fault. This is actually the network shutting down. So keep that in mind. And lastly, Vudu is offering one lucky person free movies for a year. They are giving away prizes for the next 6 weeks. For you get a chance to enter to win, or you can receive a movie every week of your choice for the entire 2020. So you can get a new movie every week from Vudu if you win for the entire year of 2020. So if you want to learn how you can enter this giveaway for a chance to win all this stuff from Vudu, check out the link in the show notes down below. We have all the details you need to know about this. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic week. I know a lot of people are traveling home from Christmas this weekend. Please be safe on the roads. Please be safe flying, traveling. Take some extra time. Rushing home, I get it. I miss home already. But rushing home can be dangerous if you're not being careful in the middle of winter. So be safe out there. I hope the weather is good for you. I'll be back tomorrow. And next week, we actually head out to CES early. I'll explain why next week. But we're going to have coverage from CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, in depth. Both Jess and I will be there, breaking down the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now. So I hope everybody has a fantastic day. If I don't see you tomorrow, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it.